Don.
You were jacked. What are you doing?
It's testosterone.
You're just straight up telling you testosterone.
Yeah, testosterone.
I need some testosterone.
And like, unemployment lends itself to like a lot of time in the gym. So I work out like 6 days a week, and I got a buddy of mine who got pretty badly injured in Iraq and Afghanistan serving overseas, and he was telling me, I was having all these symptoms from my TBI because it was actually the 7th TBI that I'd suffered.
Traumatic brain injury.
Yeah, traumatic brain injury in my career in law enforcement. And so, I was tired all the time and lethargic. And he's like, man, you should go in and get your T-level tested. So I did. And they were like, it's slightly below like where we would say that you should probably start to take some type of enhancement. And so I got a prescription for testosterone, and it was a game changer.
Dude, your testosterone was low, or just on the verge of being right at the level.
Yeah.
You're the horniest person I know. How is that? No, seriously, you are.
I don't know. I think that's like, I am, but it's that's like a mental, and then the mental and the physical weren't aligning themselves, and so now like everything is in like tip-top shape.
Yeah.
But this company that I get the testosterone from, they also like occasionally will try to shop you some like crazy strength like Viagra shit. And so they sent me these tablets. They're like little, I don't know, like they dissolve under your tongue.
Viagra?
It's like Viagra, but it's not. I mean, it's kind of like, it's not an off-brand. It's like their own concoction. And it's minty. It's great, but the problem is
that's dangerous in your hands.
Oh, it's super fucking dangerous. I didn't realize this, but they're like, Viagra comes like with 20 and 40 milligram tablets. These things came in like 100 and 200 milligram. So I think the idea was like you can cut the squares into like 4s.
Wait, you took it?
Oh, I took the whole fucking thing, dude.
No.
Yeah.
What happened?
I mean, I got a that lasted for more than 8 hours.
12, it was 8 hours or 12. What is it? 8 hours or 12 hours? It's the erection thing.
I mean, I called the fucking doctor.
And?
I mean, they were like, monitor it. I was like, how the f can I not monitor it?
You're the only. Did you OD on Viagra or whatever?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that whatever happened to me was unnatural and not safe. I mean, it was so bad, like, to take a piss, I had to, like, position myself, like, kind of on all 4s, like, over top of the toilet so I could aim my shit down because I couldn't, like, you couldn't even bend it.
You're serious?
I'm dead serious.
And?
I wouldn't joke about some shit like this.
How long did it last?
Oh, man, I mean, I woke up the next day, I was still
And were you nervous? Because, I mean, you can lose your, I think. You can, like, pick it up and where it...
I wasn't even thinking about that. I wasn't going to go to a hospital. I was just going to, like, sit around and wait for it to resolve itself.
So what happened?
I mean, I, like, took care of myself until that got boring as shit, and then I just like watched some fucking westerns and went about my day wearing compression pants.
So no problems after that?
No. Everything's in working order. I just take less of the, when I really want to, dress to impress, I'll just break off like a little sliver.
Oh, you want a chub?
No, I mean, I just, like, if I'm, with someone that I really want to, like, blow their fucking mind.
Oh, I thought you said dress to impress, like if you wanted a bulge to.
No.
You don't need that. Yeah, you don't need that because like there were your bulges all over the internet. You remember that?
Are we gonna make this whole podcast?
No, it's not. But it's you are the one who brought up the Viagra story, and so
yeah. No, I thought it was like a good segue into like I'm not just the guy from January 6th. You may also know me from overdosing on fucking Viagra. Yeah, no, I like. Yes, there was somebody took a picture of me when I was at the one of the select committee hearings, and I think it went like viral. And they like zoomed in on my crotch and like drew a circle around it, and yeah.
Did you like that?
I mean, it was like Nice to get some attention for something other than getting the shit kicked out of me on the west front of the Capitol.
I mean, it is flattering. Come on now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but then everybody. The thing is, though, after that, like, you know, if you're with someone, because are you still single? I haven't spoken to you like in a little bit about your love life.
Yeah.
You're still single.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of pressure then, because they're like, oh, this is a dude with a big crotch on it. Ugh.
Dude, I get no dates.
Are you serious?
I get no dates.
No way.
No.
Really? When was the last time you went out on a date? Come on, Mike.
I fucking can't remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I live a pretty like isolated, you know, lifestyle. Like I live in the middle of nowhere. I just kind of keep to myself. I'm busy. Like I've got 4 daughters. You know, 3 of them are between the ages of 9 and 13, and it's like a full-time. Like I don't know how I ever had time to have a job. You know, everybody's playing soccer, and I'm like soccer mom after, you know, 3:30 every day. So I just kind of get up, hang out with my dogs, go to the gym, and then it's like daddy duty.
So you're like a stay-at-home dad, like you're a house husband, kind of.
Yeah, no, I live real close to my ex-wife and the kids, so yeah, that'd be an accurate description. I like to think of myself as like a trophy ex-husband. Like I work out all morning, and then I go like pick the kids up and take them places, and then take the whole family to dinner. Yeah, that's, you know.
But you're a trophy ex-husband?
Yeah.
Well, how are you? In order to be a trophy, you got to be with someone. Are you and your ex-wife still hanging out?
No, that's not gonna ever happen.
So that was the last date.
We love each other, but we also hate each other. Yeah.
You hate her.
I mean, there's just, you know, there's like a lot of history there, but and we're also like best friends.
Yeah. Which brings me to this point. I can't believe you.
I mean, put it this way, dude. So I used to have a tattoo of my ex-wife on this side of my chest.
Yeah.
It was all the way down my rib cage. And when we got divorced, I had it covered up with a Grim Reaper.
People want to know why I'm friends with you, and that's why, because of shit like that, because you got these crazy stories. I remember you told me about, there's so much I want to talk to you about. First of all, I'm going to talk to you about line dancing, right? You learned how to line dance. Was it in a gay bar or something? Or the country western gay bar or something?
So like...
And you're not gay. Actually,
no.
You know, people, when we were friends, like when we became friends, people thought like, are you dating him? I'm like, no, he's not gay.
Right, no, I'm... so like... I had kind of a tumultuous upbringing. Like I dropped out of high school, and I got kicked out of my parents' house when I was like 16 years old. And at one point, like I was staying with or working for a guy who, like I was friends with his partner, and he...
like partner, like lover, not
not
police partner.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So they, I mean, shit, I was like 17, 18 at the time, and I started working construction for this guy, Dave, and, you know, he and his partner were really big into fucking line dancing. Dave was from the Midwest. He was from like Michigan area, and yeah, he was like, you should come and check it out. And I went, and it was in DuPont Circle, and like I was like hanging out with like a bunch of gay dudes. We went to Remington's, which, if you don't remember, was on Capitol Hill. It was a Western themed bar, but it was a gay bar, and we'd go line dancing.
Yeah. You probably should get closer to the mic. I think. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
maybe a little bit closer. Why are you so... I was surprised, and again, when we talked about the reason that we're friends, we met after the insurrection. Someone connected me with, like, one of a producer or somebody. I forget who connected us. And the first time we talked on the phone, we must have talked like 2 hours.
Oh, I think it was longer than that.
Longer than 2 hours. We just talked, and I was like, this guy is so normal, and you're so open. No, serious, and normal in the sense that you're not normal. Let me correct myself.
Yeah.
But in the sense that you think like a police officer, like you might be uptight or whatever, but you're just like a real dude. But yeah, and so I like that. Why are you so open-minded? You're open-minded about everything. Like you don't give a shit about gay or trans, or one of your best friends is trans.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. I attribute it to like I grew up in the punk rock scene in DC, and it was just like a very open community where like acceptance was like it was a big thing. Like there was no it was a non-judgmental. There were just like all kind of crazy ass people, and it's not something that you think about. It's just like that was just like my life, and those were the people I hung out with. And then later on in life, when you start seeing, people who are like closed off to a certain segment of society or to certain communities, then you start to recognize like, oh damn, I didn't grow up that way. Like, what's wrong with like this particular person? Like, yeah, dude, Leslie, like you said, was one of my best friends. She was transgendered. Did I think it was weird that she fucking put on a wig and a dress? Yeah, it was kind of fucking weird. Yeah. Did I give a shit?
No, it's not. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like it's not me. When I was growing up, my friend, she was my girlfriend at the time, but hey, things change. Her brother was a drag queen. Now I don't know if he's trans or not. Like we didn't say trans back then. I didn't, but he was a drag queen, and he would go and dress up like on the weekends and go out, and they'd do their thing. And some of them, I don't know if he was or not, but some of them were, ladies of the evening. Or gentlemen of the evening.
Yeah. Leslie was definitely a lady of the evening.
Yeah.
So,
but then I realized, because hanging around him, after like hanging out at the house, I would hang out a lot, that he was just a normal person. And the funny thing was, all of the funny sayings that we had, like "you're tired," or just all the the little jokes of things that like you hear on the Housewives of Atlanta, all those little quips, that all came from him. It all came from like gay black men and black women, like all of those things that you hear and see now. And I realized then he was fucking clever and bright as fuck.
Yeah.
He's like one of the smartest people I know. I don't know what, like school-wise, but he was just so quick and like could give you life advice, like amazing. Support for the Don Lemon Show today comes from Z-Biotics. I have to tell you about this game-changing product that I use before a night out with drinks. It's called pre-alcohol. Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It is a buildup of this byproduct, not dehydration, that is to blame for rough mornings or rough days after drinking. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. So just remember to make pre-alcohol your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you're going to feel your best the next day. So I first gave pre-alcohol a try when I went to a wine tasting, and I drank it before my first drink, and you wouldn't believe how on top of my game I felt the very next morning. So go to zbiotics.com/lemon to learn more about it and get 15% off your first order when you use lemon at checkout. ZBiotics is backed by 100% money back guarantee. If you're unsatisfied for any reason, they're going to refund your money, no questions asked. So remember to head to zbiotics.com/lemon and use the code lemon at checkout for 15% off. Support also comes from MSI United States. I have to tell you about something that is really incredibly important, everyone. Right now, around the world, a real tragedy is unfolding. Women are facing a major crisis. Cuts to foreign aid for modern safe contraception are putting lives in jeopardy. But there is this organization, MSI Reproductive Choices, an international charity. It's really helping. It has been providing vital care to women in 36 countries for years. MSIUnitedStates.org is a website where you can find out more. They have launched the Choice Emergency Fund to replace USAID funding cuts. So please support them. Women and girls are counting on regular people like you. Why does it matter? Well, contraception helps girls to stay in school. It helps women's economic power, and it helps create healthier lives for families. Here's something that I didn't know, that 257 million women can't access contraception that would put them in control of their lives. Imagine that. No access to contraception because you live too far from a health center or you just simply can't afford it. I'm also seeing here that MSI can provide a woman with contraception for a whole year for just $6.50. You can give a woman a year of freedom from worry for just $6.50. Real impact here. Go to MSI UnitedStates.org and give, or you can text Lemon, my last name, to 511-511. To be clear, that's M as in modern, S as in states, I as in international, or go to 511-511, Lemon to 511-511. It gets great ratings on Charity Navigator. 94% of your gift goes to charitable activities. MSIUnitedStates.org, or text Lemon to 511-511. Text fees may apply.
Yeah, no, and like Leslie was such an important person in my life, really for the sole reason that like when I became a cop, it like being a cop is not just a job. I mean, I know it's a cliche thing to say, but it's real, and it's actually incredibly dangerous and destructive in that we only socialize with fellow police officers, at least I did. And so the only perspective that I was getting on life in America, in the world, was from fellow police officers, most of whom were like-minded or pretty close to being like-minded individuals who had similar experiences to mine. And so it was like, you know, it was an echo chamber, so to speak. And so, like, it was very easy for me, a white kid in the suburbs, to, like, go into black communities that I was policing, really supposed to be protecting, and develop these, you know, biases towards the individuals that were there. And Leslie broke that for me because she was black. She was transgendered. She was a prostitute, a criminal, a drug addict. She had HIV, eventually full-blown AIDS. So, like, all of these things that I had never been exposed to really, especially not in my adult life, in my professional career, like, she checked every box. And so it's like, okay, well, she's Leslie. Like, I didn't think about her as Leslie, the black, transgendered, AIDS, you know, infected drug addict. I just thought her as Leslie. And so it's like, if she can be Leslie with a goddamn heart of gold, but also be all those other things, well, then those other things really don't matter. And so, like, she was just a good person. And then it was easy to, like, see the humanity in other people. And so she made me a better cop.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you said that. That's hard for a lot of people to do because they get stuck in the way they grew up, and they're influenced by their family and their friends, and that's why a lot of I would imagine police officers, I don't know, and a lot of conservative guys, they don't come out because they're living this sort of fake thing, and then it sort of blows up, and then they can't wait to, like, jump on Grindr when they go to a convention. Right. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because they just don't allow themselves to be themselves and other people to be themselves, and they don't get to know other people in a way that is meaningful. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like a vicious cycle in that, like, as a cop, you're going out there, and, like, your job really does lend itself to, like, confrontations with the community. A lot of, like, what our job is putting bad people in bad places. At least that's the way that, these departments train you, prepare you, and ultimately, like, that is the messaging that's coming from, upper management in policing. At the end of the day, it's all about making arrests. They could tell you that it's not, that we don't have quotas, but that was not my experience in 20 years. I mean, it wasn't. There was no number. I mean, early in my career, there was a number. It was 5 and go home when I was in Vice. But later on, it was like, all right, well, we're not going to assign a number to it, but you haven't hit what we're thinking in our minds. Like, you haven't made that many arrests yet.
Oh, so
we'll let you know
when you hit it.
Yeah.
What was the number?
I mean, dude, sometimes it would vary from, like, when I was in these drug squads, it would be anything from, like, 5 to 10 to 15 arrests, and it just, it became, it was absurd. Like, we would go out and arrest people, like arrest literally a homeless person that bought a $20 bag of crack and broke it in 2 and was like, I'm going to smoke this half and sell the other half for $10 and maybe be able to go buy another and it was like, you're just like, what the am I doing?
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you feel like, like it's kind of fucked up that you had to do that, and that police officers do that? That people then they get stuck in the system rather than going to get help for their crack addiction. They get stuck in the system, and it's a never-ending cycle. Not that it's your fault, but it's all the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's super complicated conversation. I mean, listen, there were a lot of times where, I arrested hardened criminals that should have gotten time in jail and didn't. And then I arrested people that were, more often than not, you'd come across somebody from, a poor inner city community that has had zero opportunities in their life and reverted to selling drugs to support their family or support their child. And then it's like, you feel like a piece of shit when you lock this guy up. And, in addition to like the couple of bags of crack or heroin that he has on him, he's also got like, diapers and a gallon of milk that he was trying to like bring home. And it's like, early in my career, I didn't give a fuck. I wanted to put everybody in jail that I possibly could. I was policing with my ego, and like it was all about just like running and gunning. And then like you get older, you get a little bit wiser. You have kids of your own. You start like developing more compassion and empathy. You meet people like Leslie, and then you start looking at things like dramatically different. At least I did. Unfortunately, I think there was a lot of people, a lot of my coworkers that just never broke the like us versus them. And it wasn't, I don't think it was a racial thing. I mean, there were racists in the police department, but it literally just got down to like us as cops versus them, the community, whatever community it was.
Yeah. Look, I think that there's racism out there, obviously.
Oh, no.
But yeah, you've experienced it. But I believe a lot of it too, and I think the racism thing can be diminished. It's just about exposure. Like people hang out with people who are just like them that they grew up with their entire life, or that are just closed-minded. I always wanted to meet like different people. Other than, of course, I wanted to hang out with my people, my family, or whatever, but I always wanted to meet different people. And obviously, I think that's why we became friends. Why are you friends with me?
It was that conversation that we had. I mean, it was like a couple days after I had gotten out of the hospital after January 6th. And
did you think I was going to be like someone like a stuck-up sort of news guy with pancake makeup on his face? Or
I really have gotten away from like. And I had done that, before January 6th, like, drawing conclusions about people I had never met.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really have any expectations. And like, it was, and we've talked about this before, it was that conversation and like, not just talking about like what happened to me but just kind of talking about everything that's going on like in America, like at this moment, and like, a lot of the undercurrent and like underlying reasons for January 6th. We dived into a bunch of that shit, but then it was like the continuation of like you reaching out, and I knew like I'm not naive. You had the Don Lemon show and you were trying to get me on as a guest, but there was also like it was genuine, and there was authenticity to like you just genuinely cared about and then. That shit went on for months. I think you'd probably, I would assume, like, relegated yourself to, like, this guy's not going to come on my mother show. And, like, you're still reaching out. We were still talking. And then that's why, like, when Andrew Clyde, the representative from Georgia, testified and said that January 6th was just another day. If you watch the footage, it was another tourist day at the Capitol. The first person I called was you, and that's when I ultimately made the decision that we were going to air my body cam footage because I thought that was the greatest rebuke. But there was nobody I trusted more with that than you.
I appreciate that. I did care. Yeah, of course. Did I want you to come on the show? Yeah, but after I started talking to you, it was like it didn't matter. I mean, it did, but it didn't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you had said, "Hey, I'm going to go on ABC," I'd be like, "I understand. It's Good Morning America, whatever it is."
You would have been like,
No.
what the
I would have, but I mean, in the back of my head, I would have You're right. I probably said, "Fuck you,"
Right.
But I still.
I invested all this time in you, you f***ing asshole. Pretended to like you.
I did pretend to like you. Let me tell you.
I'm really not that much of a that likable of a fucking
No, dude. I
person.
liked you right away, but you're not a likable guy.
No.
To people you don't like.
Oh yeah, no. It's
Yo,
like,
you're an asshole.
yeah.
But you were never an asshole to me, except for you said something to me. I didn't think you said something snarky to me once, and all I had to do was say "fuck you,"
Yeah.
and then you're like, "All right."
Because I respect that.
I think you were mad because I didn't like call you back or something. And I was like, "What is this? Is this a bitch? We're not dating. Like, what the? I'm not your ex-boyfriend."
Right. No, I am, and I'm the first person to admit, like when I was a cop, I was incredibly difficult to work with.
Yeah.
And like a lot of it, I think, was just born out of, like, working for a police department, especially like a major metropolitan police department, and in probably DC police specifically. I mean, they just treat you like shit, and so like it made me hard, and I just developed like a zero tolerance for bullshit, or at least what I perceive to be bullshit, and so it's pretty easy for me to go from like 0 to 100 and completely dismiss people and just tell them to go fuck off.
Yeah, I know. So let me just say that I did care, and I do care, and I think, like, I'm just gonna be honest. So when I had this idea to do this, I wanted people, because I know who you are. You're smart. You're funny. You are a kind person. You have a very kind heart. You put up this, front, like you're not. You are, and you're not. And you're good looking. People, like, you're the whole thing. I want people to get to know that, because you're not just the insurrection cop. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you have, there is, a space for you that is beyond just being the ex-insurrection cop. Not that that's a bad thing, but I think that you're multidimensional, and people don't get to see that. And I also hate the hate that you get from these fucking asshole, MAGA people who I just think are the dregs of the earth.
Yeah, I love it. But to be totally honest with you, I just think that the more I get means that I'm effective, and they see me as a threat.
You're doing the right thing, you think? The more
no
hate
doubt. Yeah.
Do you worry about your safety?
No, but I worry about my family's safety. I mean,
yeah,
it's
amen. Same here.
I'll tell you. So, like, I was working with this group, and one of the things that they do is they'll do deep dives into like the dark web and look at like threats that are being made against specific people. So I had asked them, I was like, you guys have the tech and the know-how to go about doing this, and they did, and some of the conversations that were had were like, it's not affecting him when we SWAT his house or send him threats, or even when there's like physical confrontations, we've got to go after his family. And so my mother has been targeted numerous times. Yeah. Pretty much everybody in my immediate family has been directly targeted by these guys, and even my children. And so that, I think, is because the last thing that I would ever want in this world is for something to happen to them because of something that I did or said, even if it was righteous and the right thing to do. I mean, my family is everything to me. My children are everything to me.
Yeah. Support for the Don Lemon Show today comes from the Wild Alaskan Company. When was the last time that you truly, truly trusted the seafood that you brought home? I used to question everything from nutrition, taste, sustainability, until I discovered Wild Alaskan Company. Wild Alaskan Company is the best way to get wild, caught, perfectly proportioned, nutrient-dense seafood delivered directly to your door. Trust me, you haven't tasted fish this good, okay? So I love it. I'm a Southerner. I love my seafood. Wild Alaskan is 100% wild caught, never farmed. This means there are no antibiotics, no GMOs or additives, just clean, real fish that support healthy oceans and fishing communities, okay? Their fish is frozen right off the boat, so it's going to lock in that taste, that texture, and all the nutrients like omega-3s. Wild caught from Alaska, every order supports sustainable harvesting practices, and your membership delivers flexible shipments, expert tips, and truly feel-good seafood. My favorite, again, is the cod. I love it. All kinds of varieties. And you can try it with a 100% money-back guarantee. If you are not completely satisfied with your first box for any reason, Wild Alaskan Company will give you a full refund, no questions asked. No risk, just high-quality seafood. Not all fish are the same. This is seafood you can trust. Go to wildalaskan.com/lemon for 35% off of your first premium order of wild-caught seafood. That's wildalaskan.com/lemon for 35% off of your first order. Thanks to Wild Alaskan for supporting this episode. Support also comes from Shopify, okay? The origins of this program, once a dream. Once I had a dream to start a business, just like I'm sure you are. And so now you're listening to the culmination of my dream today. Starting your own business it can be daunting, but not if you go to a place like Shopify. They have all the tools that you'll need to turn your dreams into. So Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world. 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names to brands that are just getting started. It is Shopify. As our team here in the Don Lemon Show works to launch our show merch, well, we're going to be using Shopify to create our e-commerce store. So you may be thinking, what if I can't design a website? Well, Shopify's got that beautiful already made templates that can match your brand style. So get help with everyday tasks like enhancing products, descriptions, generating discount codes with Shopify's AI tools that can help you to create all of that. If you're worried that people haven't heard about your brand, Shopify will help you find your customers with easy to run email and social media campaigns. And if you get stuck, Shopify is always around, 24-hour, 24/7 customer service, award-winning customer service. So turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. So sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/lemon. Go to shopify.com/lemon, shopify.com/lemon, and turn your dreams into. So thanks to Shopify for sponsoring our show. You're a trophy ex-husband.
I am a trophy ex-husband.
Do you have a minivan?
No, I have an SUV.
You have an SUV.
I'm not going to drive a minivan.
Well, I mean, you're kind of a mom. You're kind of the mom. I mean, I'm just saying.
I think that I'm like I go over and above when it comes to like the ex-husband responsibilities. My ex-wife would. She would not agree at all. She would tell me that I'm a failure as an ex-husband, but I still love her.
But not as a dad.
No.
Are you a soft dad? Did you do like tutus and teacup parties and baby dolls? Did you play with them?
My kids really never did that shit.
Yeah.
I am wholeheartedly like I'm a girl dad.
You're a girl dad.
I can't discipline them. I can't punish them. I try, and they laugh at me because they know that it's like so out of character.
Wait, your daughters aren't even afraid of you, and you're this badass police officer? No. That's why I told you it's a front. You're a softie.
It's not a front, dude. These are my goddamn kids, dude. I love my kids. And they're just like adorable, cute little girls. All other, like my youngest, Hensley, I love her to death. She's the spawn of Satan. I mean, she is just, she's like 9 going on like 30.
Yeah.
And she has a mouth on her. She's the sweetest child in school, but when she comes home, it's like, it's f***ing on.
She's a terror?
I mean, she takes no shit from anyone.
Oh, really? I wonder where she got that from. I don't know. Is it great for you not to have to talk about January 6th? Like, because I'm sure it probably comes up every day. But we didn't talk a lot about it, except for how we got to be friends. But we didn't, I'm not questioning you about it or anything like that.
No, because like, what happened to me that day is just not a big part of my life anymore. it's like, I'm still like engaged, and I comment on things, and I'll do interviews and talk about, this administration and how, awful and disgusting I think that it is.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel about this administration? I mean, speaking of, look, you got a bunch of tattoos, right?
Yeah.
So does the defense secretary. Do you like that dude? I mean, it's like the military is kind of like being a police officer.
No,
Discipline.
I have zero respect for Pete Hedgebeth. First of all, I think he's
Hedgebeth,
whatever the fuck his last name is.
Hegseth.
I don't care. I just, I think like everybody else in his cabinet, these guys are just like a bunch of clowns. I was talking to Adam Kinzinger. I was doing his Substack thing the other day, and I said, we were talking about like the Signal chat and like how Hedgeseth is putting out these war plans or attack plans, whatever the fuck you want to call them, on a civilian application when it should be reserved for military grade encrypted technology. And I was like, when everybody is unqualified to do their job, then everyone is actually uniquely qualified to do the same fucking job. In that, like, why are all these other people chiming in? Why is the Secretary of Commerce talking about
bombing?
Fucking it's because they're all the same. They're all idiots. They're all unqualified for the positions that they're in. So why not chime in on, Hegseth can talk about commerce and maybe you can give Pam Bondi some tips. I don't know, but I think that it's very clear that the only qualification that they have is that they're willing to say yes to anything and everything that Donald Trump asked them to do.
Yeah. Well, look, I think this will be maybe the last time we talk about the insurrection, unless it just comes up naturally. I like to talk about other stuff like ODing on Viagra.
It's a real thing.
Next time we'll have alcohol.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
And we'll just continue to do it. Maybe you'll move to New York. I don't know. Or we could do it remotely. Let's see how this looks.
For me, New York is a nice place to visit.
You wouldn't want to live here.
I'm not going to do like a Morgan Wallen and be like, get me to God's country. And what a clown. But no, it's like, it's too much. Like I just need to be like, I'm a misanthrope, man. I just want to be like alone with my dogs, and like I don't have any neighbors. Like I could walk outside my house butt ass naked and fucking walk around in the yard, and there's just no one there.
Can we do a podcast with that? A podcast? You would. Speaking of naked, didn't you? Okay, so I was like looking at stuff. We were talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Did I know about the Playgirl thing? I don't know if maybe I forgot about it. Was that real? Did they ask you to pose naked?
Yeah, I got a phone call. Like this was, I don't know, like a couple months after January 6th, and I was getting like inundated with phone calls, and like I remember like scrolling through my, what the hell was it? Like my voicemails, and you know how it like tells you the text. And so, like, I was scrolling through, and I just happened to see, like, one that says, like, such and such from Playboy magazine. Or Playgirl. And so I was like, oh, well, that's unique. And then I listened, and it was like, we would like to talk to you about, potentially posing for the magazine, which I didn't even know Playgirl still existed.
Did you even know it was a magazine?
I'm sure I knew it was a magazine. I just didn't even know that it was, still in existence. And I forget, like, it was a relatively nominal offer that was being made, but I declined.
For the right amount of money.
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would do it?
Yeah.
For a ton of money or just?
Like a ton of money.
You would do it?
Yeah, I mean, nothing outrageous. Like, my financial advisor tells me I need like $3 million. Like $3 million, and I can live like not Don Lemon lifestyle, but Mike Fanone lifestyle. I could like Dude, so 3 mil is my hard number.
Would you ever do OnlyFans?
You know, it's...
do you have an OnlyFans?
After I lost my job at CNN, I was pretty close to jumping on OnlyFans. I was gonna like, you know, just start with feet pics and like hands, because I've heard there's like this some crazy marketplace for.
It's true.
Yeah,
I've seen it. There's I think I'm on a website somewhere, and it's like they judge like celebrity feet or something. It's kind of weird. I'm like probably 30,000 whatever, but yeah, they do. I wouldn't judge you if you did OnlyFans.
I wouldn't give a shit. I would do it. If I need the money, I need the motherfucking money. But
you want to set it up? I'll help you set it up. I'll be your agent.
Yeah,
I'll set up your OnlyFans. And there's a tattoo thing. There's beards, I'm sure.
Whatever happened to just good old fashioned, like just the regular stuff
on Super 8mm?
No,
VHS.
That's kind of fucking creepy. No, just like Pornhub, dude. Which, by the way, you can't get in Virginia.
You can't.
No, it's been banned from Virginia, which is another reason I like to visit New York.
Wait, it's banned?
Yeah, you can't get on. You have to like go through some crazy process of like take a picture of yourself, send it in to ID. Like anybody that watches is going to go through that effort.
I'm sure Pornhub does not like that. That probably, knocks their engagement down.
Yeah, no. If I was going to become the governor of Virginia, my platform would be bring back access to, and then also we're going to get rid of the ABC stores. Do you have that? You guys don't.
No,
have
that's
that
the
yet.
liquor stores, right?
Where you can only buy like liquor in the government run. No.
And then some places you can't get it on Sunday between certain times because it's like church and stuff. Does that still happen anywhere around the country?
Yes.
Maryland.
I think Maryland has it. Virginia, there's, I don't know, is ABC open on?
It's open on Sundays.
Yeah. By the way, that is, come in here.
Oh, yeah.
This is brother, Peter. And so right there. So whenever, just duck down so you can see. So whenever I can't get in touch with Michael because you are, as you said, misanthrope, but you really are, what's the thing? A recluse. And I'm like, I haven't heard from Michael. Is he okay? I call Peter. And then I text him. And then if I didn't text Peter, I text Joe. That's your dad. I don't think I have your mom. I don't know if I have your mom's number. And then finally, you're like, what the do you want? I'm like, I'm worried about you. I haven't heard from him. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I'll block people.
Did you block me?
I'm sure at some point. I've blocked everybody.
Dude, I drove an hour or an hour and a half to go look at a boat for you that you sank or sunk, however the boat sank.
Yeah.
I took time out of my day to go.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
No, I know.
We'll talk about that on the next episode.
Yeah.
How about that's a teaser? What happened to the boat?
What happened to the boat?
Yeah. What happened to the boat? Hey, bro, I love you. What do you drink? I've been out drinking with you, and I know you drink brown liquor, right?
I mean, I'll drink. I'm a big fan of Blanton's, but I don't know if I would go brown liquor like on this.
Yeah, because you might.
First of all, I'm a fast drinker,
and
I don't savor shit. It just goes right down the hatch.
Yeah.
And then I'll just get shitty and.
That's what we want.
Oh, it's gonna. I mean, okay.
So next one we'll have. We haven't even come up with a name for this shit yet. I've been wanting to do this, and I'm gonna run it. We're gonna run it.
Okay.
We're doing it.
Fuck it.
What did we say? Ebony and ivory, and then we said.
We had ebony and ivory.
Two dicks and a nightstick. Cops and bobbers. What is it? What was it?
Black and blue.
Black and blue. What else? There's some crazy shit, but I want people to watch and listen. So,
yeah.
Power Twins Unite. I love you too. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, Thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.